Men's basketball stays red hot.
And women's lacrosse and softball gets their season started.
All this and more on the Penguin Rundown. Welcome back to the Penguin Rundown. I'm John Ostapowitz alongside Caleb Ellison. This past weekend, women's lacrosse along with women's softball started off their seasons.
Absolutely. Some of our spring sports are getting started, and our winter sports like basketball, indoor track and field, they're coming to an end. It's a really exciting time to be a Penguins fan, and you'll get us started with the start of the softball season.
After a heartbreaking loss in the Horizon League semifinals last summer, the softball team entered this season with high hopes that they could pick up right where they left off. The team traveled to North Carolina over the weekend and competed in 5 games over a span of 3 days in the Gardner-Webb tournament. On the first day of competition, YSU fell in both doubleheader games against Colgate and host Gardner-Webb. In Game 1 against Colgate, the reigning Horizon League Pitcher of the Year senior Ellie Buffenbarger started at the mound, striking out 12 Raiders and allowing 2 earned runs. The Penguins struggled offensively as their only run came in the bottom of the third off senior Alex DeLeon's RBI double. Their struggles didn't stop there as the Penguins fell by just 1 run to Gardner-Webb in the nightcap. Sophomore Sophie Howell pitched 7 innings and stuck out 9 Bulldogs, not allowing an earned run. Youngstown State held a 1-run lead until the bottom of the 7th when a throwing error gave Gardner-Webb the trying run. A scoreless top of the 8th for the Penguins gave the Bulldogs a chance to win in extras as they won on a walk-off single late in the inning. On day 2 of the tournament, the team split the doubleheader, losing the Colgate for a second time, but beating Rhode Island in the nightcap. The Penguins carried a flight with their second matchup against Colgate as they were both tied at 5 until a sac fly gave the Raiders the RBI they needed to come out with the victory. Fifth-year Yasmin Romero went 2 for 4 while sophomore Haley Niedekor and senior Gracie both went 2 for 3 at the plate. The team turned things around in the game, too, as they earned their first victory of the season against the Rhode Island Rams. YSU was down for most of the game until the bottom of the 7th when fifth-year senior Nakia Sabini roped a triple that scored De Leon for the tie. Then following a runless inning by the Rams, junior Cochetta Rinaldi hit an RBI single that scored the deciding run. On the last day of the tournament, YSU came back for revenge against host Gardner-Webb in a dominating performance, winning 8-1. Multiple Penguins hit phenomenally as Sia had 3 RBIs and a home run. Rinaldi had 2 RBIs and 2 doubles, and junior Megan Turner had 2 RBIs and a home run. Buffenbarger also had a great performance on the mound with 9 strikeouts in just over 5 innings. The softball team is now 2-3 overall following the conclusion of the tournament. They will stay on the road as they travel to Winthrop University and compete in the Winthrop University tournament this Friday and Saturday. Slated for Friday are games against Winthrop and Western Carolina, then Saturday against Albany and Townsend.
On Friday, February 11th, the Youngstown State women's lacrosse team started off its inaugural season with an 18-7 win over St. Bonaventure. The Penguins' offensive attack was led by standout midfielder Lauren Ottensmeyer. She netted a game-high 4 goals on 6 attempted shots. In the game, both Eris Lindsay and Sydney Bumstead scored a trio of goals, helping aid in the Penguins' victory. Graduate transfer goalkeeper Savannah Clark made her Penguins debut and did not disappoint as she posted a game-best 13 saves on 20 shots. YSU also traveled to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to take on Duquesne University on Monday, where they fell 19-15. Freshman Natalie Calandra Ryan was phenomenal in this game as she had a career-high 6 goals and 2 assists. The women's lacrosse team is back in action this Friday, February 18th at the Watts to take on St. Francis University at 1 p.m.
The women's basketball team was able to carry the momentum from Wisconsin over to this weekend's trip as the Penguins were able to take both games on the road. The women once again started the weekend with an overtime matchup. However, this time they were able to come out on the better end as they beat Cleveland State 77-69. The Penguins were outscored in nearly every quarter, but a 17-8 second quarter run helped keep the team in the game. In the extra period, it was able to overpower the Vikings with a 16-8 run. Multiple players were involved in the offense as 4 Penguins scored at least 10 points. Senior Chelsea Olsen led the offense with 21 points, while fellow senior Lily Ritz continued her dominance on both sides of the ball with 17 points and 18 rebounds. Junior Maddie Albaugh was also efficient from the field as she scored 14 points on 4 of 7 shooting, and sophomore Malia Magestro finished with 11. The women kept their winning ways against Purdue Fort Wayne and also avoided the extra period as they defeated the Mastodons 69-55. The Penguins went into the half down 30-25, but outscored Purdue Fort Wayne 44-25 in the second half. Senior Megan Callahan silenced the Macedon crowd by scoring 11 of the Penguins' 20 fourth-quarter points and finished the game leading the team in points with 19. Ritz wasn't far behind with 18, while Olsen and Magestro were also again in double figures with 12 and 10. For Magestro, this marks her 8th time in the last 10 games scoring at least 10 points. As a team, it was great offensively, and it was able to shoot over 44% from the field while converting 17 of its 21 attempts from the charity stripe. The women will play their final 2 games at the Beagley Center this weekend as they play host to Northern Kentucky Friday at 7 and Wright State Sunday at 1. You can watch and listen on 570 WKBN or ESPN+.
The men's basketball team has been scorching hot as of late with 6 straight wins, raising its stake in the Horizon League standings. The latest wins last week started last Wednesday with a 78-71 win over Oakland University. Junior Dwayne Cohill scored 24 points, and senior Tevin Allison had 19 to lead the Penguins. Freshman guard Luke Ciccone was dishing it out off the bench as he had 7 assists to contribute to the winning effort. The Penguins then continued the winning streak as they notched their 6th straight win versus Detroit Mercy, 82-69. Senior forward Michael Akuche had the hot hand as he put up a career-high 34 points on 13 of 17 shooting. Cohill and Allison followed him as they both finished with 16 and 15 points. Here's what Akuche had to say about his career night.
Just being confident. I'll work every single day, get shots up before practice, after practice. So you start to work enough, you just develop confidence. And then I guess just tonight, you just have some nights where you just might hit more than others.
To close out the weekend, the Penguins took on Robert Morris University, who snapped their winning streak on Super Bowl Sunday, 73-68. 4 Penguins scored in double figures, but that was not enough. Here's what head coach Jared Calhoun had to say about the tough defeat.
Wild game, another Horizon League game that really comes down to the final 6-7 minutes like most of these things do. And you got to tip your hat to Robert Morris. They made the plays. They had to fight. They took the fight to us. We were up 10, lost that lead. We only had 1 timeout left. We tried everything. We played a lot of guys, tried to motivate, tried to change up our defenses. That worked.
The fight against the rest of the Horizon League continues as there are still 4 more games left in the season. The Gwens are back in action to continue this homestand versus the UIC Flames on Thursday, February 17th in the Beagley Center at 7 p.m. You can watch this game on 570 WKBN or on ESPN. Now it's time to send it over to Cameron and Kyle for the roundtable.
Thanks, guys. Welcome into the roundtable. I'm here with Kyle Wills. I'm Cameron Stubbs. Today we're going to be talking men's basketball, and they've been scorching hot as of late. Guys like Tevin Allison, Michael Akuche, and Dwayne Cohill, they've all been attacking. Specifically, let's talk about Allison real quick. How has he been performing?
Well, Allison has been performing well all season long, and especially at the beginning of the year when Garrett Covington went down. Obviously, they needed some players to step up with the loss of Nas Bohannon and Darius Quisenberry from last year. and with the injury to Covington, didn't do the team any favors. And Allison was one of those players that really stepped up from the start of the season, had a bunch of those 20-point performances, which was really huge for this offense, and has continuously been able to perform well as the season continues.
And like Allison, Akuche has also been very good, averaging 17.1 points per game and 9.1 rebounds per game, also having 3 double-doubles in the last 7 games. How has he contributed to the team?
Well, Akuche has been performing well to no one's surprise, has been performing well, like you said, all those double-doubles, and then has been performing well in the last 7 games, as he's been scoring over 17 points per game in over 30 minutes. And he's also shot over 50%, along with guard Dwayne Cohill, who's also really stepped up. He's also been performing well, over 17 points per game, has played at least 32 minutes and has shot over 50%. So both those players, in a time where they needed some players to step up offensively, have really had those players step up.
All those guys have stepped up on offense, but what about the defense? How have they been contributing to the effort?
Well, defensively in their last 7 games, they have forced at least 13 turnovers in 3 of the last 7, so that's definitely a big plus defensively. And in terms of being able to switch it up between man and zone, they have been really tough defensively, being able to be tight on man and then be able to lock up as they have been on zone. And obviously, the loss to Robert Morris on Sunday put them back a little bit. But the last 7 games have really been able to play well. And now with more on the men's basketball team, we're going to send it over to Richie Giuliano, where he's going to be breaking down more on what the team has done well on.
Thanks, guys. Well, what a stretch it's been for the Youngstown State men's basketball team. Just finished up a 6-game winning streak, and I'm going to talk about some of the key players and moments from that 6-game winning streak. And we're going to start with the senior leader and forward down low, Michael Akuche. Let's cue some of his highlights here. And what stands out to me the most about Michael Akuche is his physicality underneath. Look at the body control, able to step through the double team. Let's go back one more time and take another look at that play. He's got 2 guys crashing in on him in the paint. Such a big figure down low, draws a lot of attention, but look at the body control. Gets the pump fake, gets a defender in the air. Here comes the help side defender. Not in time for Michael Akuche, as his strength and power has really willed him to a lot of baskets. He had a career-high 34 points against Detroit Mercy in this ball game. Great positioning down low, able to tap it in there at the rim. And then here's the big-time play to seal it out. He's had some electrifying plays, but the hammer down there to put the ball game away against Detroit Mercy. But it's not just his inside presence. Let's take a look at some of his outside perimeter shooting. He's left all alone. Let's take another look at this one again and rewind this back. They have no respect for Michael Akuche here on the perimeters. We're going to see the forward is about 15 feet away from him, and Michael Akuche is going to take advantage of that. He has hit 10 threes in this 6-game winning streak stretch for Youngstown State. Has been a dominant force offensively. But another guy I want to talk about is Dwayne Cohill, the transfer from Dayton. Missed all of last season with an injury. He tore his ACL, and man, has he come out in full strength this season. He has scored in double figures in 13 games straight. And what makes him so dangerous, his body control and his ability to get to the basket. I want to see this play coming up one more time. Look at that. He just gets right by his defender. The forward is too slow to get to the basketball and get in position to draw that charge. And Dwayne Cohill, a little stutter step, too fast and too physical, goes right by his defender and gets to the lane. And then they're going to try and screen off the ball for him as well. They're doing a good job of getting on the ball screens up top. Look at the dance move there. Get by his defender. Let's roll that one back again. That move was too pretty not to see one more time. Dwayne Cohill, little shake and bake. He gets off the pick from Michael Akuche, and then the forward has no chance of guarding him. Way too fast, and he finishes with the left hand. Man, Dwayne Cohill, he has been fun to watch in the Beagley Center this season. He's also been able to splash in some threes as he's knocking in 45% of his threes during that 6-game winning streak. 2 more guys I want to talk about, Luke Chacon and Shamar Rattam-Mays, 2 guards who have really facilitated this offense. Chacon and Rattam-Mays, 2 guys that have over 10 assists in the last 7 games for Youngstown State. Luke Chacon, the true freshman who's played a big role off the bench for YSU this year, his ability to get into the paint, as I want to take a look at that play one more time. He's got great court awareness, and I think that's what makes him so special. He's able to get by his defender here, and then you see they draw inside to Michael Akuche, kicks it out wide open for Tevin Allison, who's able to knock in the 3, and Youngstown State has really been clicking offensively, but it's not just the offense working working for YSU. Their defense has stepped up in such a big way during that 6-game winning streak. They held 3 opponents to under 65 points, and the Penguins have some of their biggest basketball coming up here in the next couple of weeks. They take on UIC and IUPUI here at home this upcoming week, and then their biggest road trip of the season at Wright State and at Northern Kentucky, 2 teams that they're behind by just a game in the standings. Youngstown State looking to crack the top 5 seed in the Horizon League here in the last 2 weeks and eventually get a top 5 seed in the Horizon League tournament. That'll wrap it up here from our segment. Good luck to the Youngstown State men's basketball team this upcoming week. Kyle, Cameron, back to you guys.
Thanks, Richie. Now, a win versus Robert Morris would have tied the 97-98 Dan Peters-led team with 7 wins in a row, but this loss puts the Penguins in 6th place in the Horizon League. And up next versus IUPUI and UIC, teams they beat during the 6-game win streak. They hope for the best, and we also hope for the best. For Kyle Wills, I'm Cameron Stubbs. Let's send it back to John and Caleb.
The men's tennis team had a busy weekend as they competed in Milwaukee, Wisconsin at the Health Fair Tennis and Recreation Center. On Friday, the Penguins came out on top with a win over the Marquette Golden Eagles 5-2. The team had strong performances from several players. Nathan Favier got a 6-2 and 7-6 victory in singles play. Harry Fowzes won his set 6-2 to take home a singles win, and Clement Mainguy got a 6-4 winning decision. On Saturday, the Penguins could not replicate that previous performance as they came up short against the Omaha Mavericks. The team put up a good fight, but ultimately lost in doubles play and singles play. The top performances from Sunday's match came from junior Laurentu Mandescu, Nathan Favier, and Clement Mainguy, who all won singles matches on Saturday. Up next for the Penguins is a pair of matches at the YSU Indoor Tennis Center against Northern Illinois and Niagara in their first home matches of the season.
The women's tennis team came out with 2 losses this past weekend despite their hard-fought efforts. On Saturday, they fell against the Miami Redhawks on their home courts at the YSU Indoor Tennis Center. The Gwins were defeated in both doubles matches and in 4 out of 5 singles matches. Elisa Rigazillo fought hard and stayed victorious and won her 5th match of the semester. Julia Marco won a set for the first time this semester, but the score dropped in the next 2 sets. The Penguins then traveled to West Virginia to face off against the West Virginia Mountaineers on Sunday. Marco and Rigazillo continued to be victorious in singles, but in the end, the Gwins could still not come out with a win. This left the Gwins with only 1 win and 4 losses in singles matches. The Penguins also lost the point in doubles matches, which gave the overall winning score to the Mountaineers. This weekend, the women's tennis team will be hosting 2 matches in the YSU Tennis Center on Saturday against St. Francis and Sunday against Bowling Green.
The YSU track and field team split up last weekend to take on the Grand Valley State's Big Meet and Kent State Doug Ramone National Qualifier. First at the Big Meet, Janiyah Bowers took the win in the 60-meter dash with a time of 7.25. This was a personal best for Bowers, and the 60-meter time also qualifies as the country's 13th fastest time during the 2021-2022 indoor season. In the women's mile, Nicole Squartillo led all Penguins finishers, running the 2nd quickest event performance in YSU history with a time of 4 minutes and 55.96 seconds. The distance medley relay team of the Squirto, Natalie Fleming, Morgan Cole, and Amaya Dudley all set a new program record with a total time of 11 minutes and 47.81 seconds. Squirtillo clocked a 3.32 1,200-meter leg. Dudley recorded a 57.5 400-meter sprint. Fleming ran a 2:19 800-meter, and Cole anchored the distance run, clocking a 4:57 1600-meter run. This performance broke the school record that was set during the 2020 indoor season and was good for a top 5 finish at the event. In field events, junior Aaron Bogard took first place in women's pole vault at the big meet, clearing the bar at 4:06 meters. YSU also took first place in men's pole vault as freshman Elijah Nelson set a personal best with a vault of 4.95 meters at the Doug Ramone National Qualifier. Multiple Penguins put in strong performances. Senior Derek Bassinger set a personal best in the 1 mile run with a time of 4 minutes and 15.51 seconds, which was good for second place at the meet. Junior Dominic Perry earned third place in men's shot put with a throw of 16.97 meters, and in women's shot put, freshman Molly Radcliffe threw the fifth furthest shot put in program history with a throw of 14.50 meters. Coming up next, YSU will compete at Akron's Al Campbell Invitational on Friday the 18th. Then on Saturday the 19th, the Penguins will be at Kent State's tune-up meet as YSU gets ready to host the Horizon League Indoor Track Championships at the end of the month. Now, let's send it over to Andrew for the play of the week.
Thanks, guys. This week's play of the week comes from Miles Hunter of the men's basketball team in their most recent homestand against the Robert Morris Colonials. Let's take a look at what happened. This was probably one of the most spectacular plays that happened in this entire game. Akuche misses the floater, but who is there but none other than Miles Hunter with the slam. Look at that, right over two defenders of the Colonials. What a great play from Miles. Congratulations to Miles, and good luck to the men's basketball team on the rest of their regular season. Guys, we're going to send it back to you.
And that is all the time we have for the Penguin Rundown this week. Make sure to follow us on social media, stay connected, Instagram and Twitter, at Penguin Rundown 1. I've been Caleb Ellison.
And I'm John Ostapowicz.
And until next week, we'll see you at the Rundown.